Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Watch Addiction Watch Reviews. Today we're taking a look at a Russian watch brand called Molnija. They've been around since the 1930s and they're a pretty interesting brand. They have a lot of history and they make some pretty unique watches. They have their own in-house caliber, which is actually inside of this watch right here, which is dubbed the Etude. This watch retails for about $445 US from the Molnija USA shop. Obviously they have a shop in Russia also via web page. But I'll drop a link down in the description below so you can check them out after this video. Anyway, it's obviously more of a dressy, kind of classy watch. They state it's kind of like a pianist watch, something to wear with a suit, tuxedo. But nowadays you can kind of dress this up. Obviously it's a more dressy dial. We have the Roman numerals on this black dial. As you can see here, very clean dial. As you can see, we also do get a sub-seconds at the 9 o'clock position. And then these large Roman numerals, hour markers, and kind of fancy style hands. As you can see here, it does state made in Russia down here. And it does have an in-house manual winding caliber, which is a Russian-built movement as well, which is pretty cool, which is something I've actually never handled before. Anyway, let's take a look at the specifications and I'll tell you what I think about it. Now, the Etude is crafted in a solid 316L stainless steel, fully polished case, as you can see here. It is 46 millimeters in terms of actual diameter, so it's definitely on the larger side, I'd say. If you have a 7-inch wrist and up, I'd say you're probably good to go. For my measurements lug to lug, I got about 55 from top to bottom. In terms of case thickness, you're looking at about 13 millimeters, which is actually pretty thin for a watch that houses a manual winding caliber. Something that looks very similar to a ETA 2804, I would say, but it's a Russian-built manual winding caliber. The watch is basically fully polished, as you can see here all around, crafted of solid 316L stainless steel. Everything is really highly polished. That's just a blue stick. You can see the Molnija sign crown. But yeah, it has a little stepped bezel here, as you can see here. Lugs come kind of underneath this bezel portion of the case. We also do get a nice sapphire crystal with anti-reflective coating, very legible dial. As you can see here, it takes on all the light perfectly. No issues with legibility on this one. And I think it looks pretty good. I like the styling of it. It's kind of, it's very dressy, obviously, in my opinion. But today you can wear it with anything pretty much. A nice case profile. Not a case profile you'll see from many other watch brands. It's definitely one of their own. They don't produce any homage watches or anything like that. They definitely have their own unique style. And you can tell, really when you see one of these in the wild. Perhaps you might not know what it is. But it's pretty cool. And as you can see, it's kind of stepped down a little bit, or slopes down the actual black matte dial on this one, which is pretty cool. There's little loom pips on the actual hands themselves. It is a pull and push crown. You get 50 meters of water resistance, 24 millimeters in between the lugs to satisfy that 46 millimeter case diameter. Now, this watch does have a manual winding caliber, as you can see, with a small sub-seconds, which runs over here at the 9 o'clock position. There is no hacking on this movement. It beats at 18,000 beats per hour, and you do get hand winding via the crown, obviously, to give the watch power. It is a manual caliber. They dubbed the Molnija 3603. As you can see, it's a pretty cool looking movement. As you can see the balance wheel going off here. This is a limited edition watch. Screwed down case back. A bunch of words in Russian, which I don't understand. If you're Russian or you can speak Russian, definitely leave down in the comment section below what it does say. I'm pretty sure it states something like Molnija, the water resistance and such as usual. Screwed down, polished case back, brushed on the bottom portion of the lugs here. Let's get in a little closer on the actual movement here. You can see that balance wheel going off. You get some striping as well on the main plates, as you can see there. You also do get some blued screws, which is pretty cool. The watch is fully wound. I don't want to wind it anymore because you can break the movement that way. But as you can see, it's a pull and push crown here. You get one position, and then you can change the time here. As you can see, there's no hacking on this movement. Pretty simple to use. Pull and push crown. Very good grip on the crown as well. A nice size crown for the 46 millimeter case. The band it comes on is a genuine leather band, as you can see, with an embossing on the front. And you do get a custom polished Molnija buckle as well. 2 safety keepers, 1 floating, 1 secured. Heading to the back side of the band, stated genuine leather. Definitely will need a break-in period for this band as well, just to let you know. But obviously you can throw any kind of leather band on this watch. I think it would look pretty good. It does have a black dial So definitely a strap. You can definitely throw a bunch of different straps on this watch to dress it up or dress it down. But nonetheless, the finishing is pretty good. There are no sharp edges or anything like that on the bottom of the case, and it has a pretty neat design. Obviously, if you're a fan of this design, you're going to like the watch. If you like kind of a little more dressy watches than sport watches, this could be something for you. It's an interesting watch. Molnija has a long history. They've been around since 1930, and they're going up until today. They really have won a couple awards in the past as well. We'll throw up on the screen some of their timeline. They'd actually have a watch factory, I believe, in Russia, which is pretty interesting. And they're actually selling in the USA. They also do sell in Russia, obviously. But you know, they do sell in the USA. They have a USA web front and a web store and an Instagram, which you can shop directly from their Instagram, which is pretty cool. But yeah, it's definitely a pretty interesting design, something very different than from what we normally review here on the Watch Addiction channel. Definitely a new caliber. I don't think anyone has reviewed any of these on YouTube, I'm pretty sure. But yeah, definitely a pretty interesting watch. You know, there's not really much lume on it. It's a dress watch, obviously. There's a little lume pips on the hour and the minutes hands, which are fully polished, as you can see there, and are quite legible as well with these large Romans 12, 3, 6, 9, as you can see here. But yeah, nonetheless, I have a 6.75 inch wrist, and we'll see how it looks on my wrist. Now there's the watch on my 6.75 inch wrist. As you can see, lug to lug, probably a couple millimeters too big. I have a small wrist. But nonetheless, if you have like a 7-inch wrist, I think you should be good to go. It actually wears pretty comfortable. As you can see, the buckle here conforms nicely to the strap here, which I do appreciate. Wears pretty low on the wrist. I mean, 13 millimeters thick for a manual caliber inside of this thing, and very legible at all different angles as well. Definitely looks pretty flashy, to be quite honest. It looks much more expensive than $445 US, and I think it wears pretty comfortable on the wrist. I was quite surprised by that. I didn't really know what to expect, you know. I don't have much experience with this brand. But nonetheless, I think they have a long, rich history, and if you're looking for something completely different, you know, today's watch market is very saturated with Swiss brands, and I would say some American brands as well, brands from Germany as well. But there's really not many Russian brands if you really take a closer look on the mainstream. So yeah, definitely a brand to take a closer look. They have a lot of interesting models. They have some dive models as well, and some other cool looking models. Their designs are very unique. You won't find any homage style watches or anything like that from this company. They definitely do create their own designs, and they have their own design language, which is always a positive for me. I think it's a pretty neat looking watch if you're looking for something to dress up in. As they do state on their website, it's more of like a dressy kind of pianist style watch, as you can see with that black dial and the white Romans. As you can see, it does state the custom movement 3603 right on the dial over here as well. So you're getting an in-house movement for under $500 US, sapphire crystal, decent case structure and build. You know, something that you're not going to see on your friend's wrist. I think it's quite cool. But anyway, I don't have any quality control issues or anything like that with the watch. Shipping was pretty fast. Comes in a pretty standard box, nothing too crazy. But yeah, let me know what you guys think down in the comment section below as usual. This is Watch Addiction Watch Reviews coming at you with the Molnija Etude. This is one of their series. They have a few watches in the series with this movement inside of it you can check out. I'll drop a link down in the description below. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. Do you own any of these watches from Molnija? Do you know about their history? They have a long, rich history. You can read all about it on their website. And it's actually quite interesting. It's always good to learn about new watch brands and former watch brands, and you know, their kind of journey up until today. Yeah, just pretty cool stuff, guys. Let me know what you guys think. Definitely throw the video a like, subscribe to the channel, and let me know what you guys think. This is the Etude from Molnija from Russia, and I will see you guys on the next video. Thank you so much for tuning in once again. Bye.